Yo, hello. Welcome back to another stream, y'all. Today on this live stream, I am sorry about that. Today, I am going to be explaining why sonic.exe versus Sonic isn't even close at all. So, without further ado, let's just well, I should explain what I'm going to be doing. I am going to skill everything from their cosmological structure, characters, etc. So, all right, we should get started. All right, what should we do first? Oh yeah, we should skill Sonic, like obviously. So, when we look at Sonic's dreams, they are universes. They are referred as dream realms. Realm correlates with universes, which means that dreams in Sonic are entire universes. Dreams by Occam's razor would contain themselves infinitely because there are people within the dreams that dream and so forth, meaning that there's an infinite hierarchy within itself of dreams. This would get applied to subatomic particles and atoms since they contain the dreams and the dreams contain them. These prove that the Sega cosmology consists of Sonic cosmology within itself. Since Sonic is a Sega IP, since there's no limit to what Sonic's multiverse can contain or accept, this would by extension mean that Sonic's multiverse would accept and contain everything, which includes the Sega cosmology, which that Sega and Sonic contain each other's cosmology in an infinite cycle by the assertion of Occam's razor, which means that since the sonic cosmology contains itself infinitely, this would mean that this gets applied to everything within the cosmology, which means that subatomic particles and atoms contain themselves infinitely and each would have an infinite amount of universes. The universes in atoms weren't referred to as microscopic universes or microscopic properties, and Eggman never stated or said that about them at all. Since we fulfilled the BOP to use Occam's razor in this context, then this would, by Occam's razor, assert that the subatomic particles are as big as the regular universe and get universe scaling. I am going to post the scans. What's up, Frosty? How you doing? How you doing? Here's one of the scans. Here's the second scan. Here's the third scan. Here's the fourth scan. Here's the sixth scan. Oh shit! Oh man, I'm such a retard. Sorry about that, y'all. Hold on. Let me just redo this. Man, that was actually embarrassing. All right, first we got this. Boop. That's the first scan. This is the second scan. This is the third scan. This is the fourth scan. This is the fifth scan. This is the sixth scan. This is the seventh scan. This is the eighth scan. And finally, this is the ninth scan. Wow, that's so cool. Alright, since we fulfilled the properties of dreams containing universes, where would these universes scale to? If you think about it, everything being canon in Sega with Inverse, which would include all Sega IPs, meaning the entire Sega games like SMT and Persona, is connected to Sonic. According to Ian Flynn, all universes are parallel to each other, meaning everything these other universes have, Sonic has, because that's literally the fucking definition of parallel. Like, why wouldn't Sonic have that shit? Here's the scans. Oh shit, I did that shit again. Also, people love to say Aaron Weber retired, which is a pretty ass argument because just because they're retired doesn't mean that they're not reliable. Say that I retired and I give off information about those stuff, such as like how things work. Does that mean I'm not reliable? So yeah, by the assertion of everything being canon, this would make my scaling, each universe has transfinite mathematics. Actually, it has real transcendent binary numbers, transfinite mathematics, quantities of infinite hierarchies, infinite infinite of infinite hierarchies. Here's the scan. Doop dup dooba dooba dup dooba dooba dup dup dooba dooba dup deep bop dooba da bop dooba da bop bop dooba da bop beep boop boom 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 flip flop dooba dooba dup flip it dooba dup dup dooba dup. Oh yeah, I think I already saw this shit. Whatever. Let's show it again. I don't give a fuck. Ah shit, my bad. So yeah, on the assertion of my scaling, this would make my scaling high outer versal to wherever you fucking scale transfinite mathematics. You can also conclude that knights being connected to knights being connected to fucking Jungian archetypes. So basically, Lusa proves that the analysis is correct and even says Carl Jung's work is a primary fucking foundation, which would by definition be correct because it's stating that Carl Jung's work is the primary foundation, which would logically conclude that a, a universe contains collective unconscious. Since all universes in Sonic the Hedgehog are parallel, that means every universe has a collective unconscious, There's an infinite amount of universes, and there will be an infinite amount of collective unconscious. And then by then, before we concluded that dreams contain themselves infinitely, and the cosmology contains itself infinitely. That means universes contain themselves infinitely, which contains an infinite amount of collective conscious. So there would be an infinite amount of universes in atom. They'd all vibrate at different frequencies, meaning there's an infinite amount of collective consciousness, and they also stack infinitely. If something is stacked, you have a qualitative superiority over it. The reason why is because you're viewing that lower stacked universe as qualitative superiority. So if your verse that you're scaling has an infinite stacked hierarchy, then you'll know that there's an infinite amount of reality over fiction transcendences that are qualitative superiority. Sonic literally is above the cosmology because he's able to tank attacks that would most likely destroy the cosmology. Keyword most likely. I wouldn't say it's most likely, but like it's most definitely a possibility. Not possibility, but like he can most definitely scale above the Cosmo. Also, we can just conclude that Sonic is high outer, whatever you fucking scale him. Now it is time to scale EXE. The moment y'all been waiting for. The absolute W moment y'all have been waiting for. All right. I'm going to get scans real quick. Let me get some scans. Also, let me check the chat. What's up, Nolly? What's up, Nolly? How are you? How are you? Sorry, it's taking a long time. I'm just finding scans. All right. First of all, let's go to the cosmology of sonic.exe, which is basically this. So basically, if you think about it, this is correct. Sonic.exe is above the void is above the real world, and the Sonic.exe disk is above the entire Sonic verse. Yes, Sonic.exe is canon to Sonic, and yes, Sonic's canon to EXE. They're literally self-explanatory. If everything is canon, that would make the references canon by Sega's premise and Ian Flynn's premise, which would make Sonic.exe automatically canon to Sonic. No, that's not how it works. No, that's not how it works. Yes, the fuck it is. It's can't. People can't really fucking accept that Sonic slams their favorite blue hedgehog. Um, moving on. A single fucking human and creepypasta literally views the entire Sonic verse as qualitative superiority. Holy fuck! All right, let's do some fucking philosophical shit or philosophy shit. So if we say X, aka Sonic, was your certain tier that you gotta scale them, And Y was sonic.exe. That would mean that Y would scale above X no matter what you scale him to, because he just has a qualitative superiority over him. What was that voice? I don't know. Yeah, it's Kermit the Frog, Kermit the Frog. Alright, anyways. Sonic.exe is above the Garden of Red, or is able to fight against the Garden of Red. Why is this so fucking special? Why do you reference this? Like, what's so special about this? Well, my friend, if we conclude that the Garden of Red is above the blank, aka, hold on, let me get this. Sees on the top, Slenderman once again ripped open reality, showcasing like beings like Sonic.exe fighting the Garden of Red. That means he would be comparable, if not superior to the Garden of Red. The Garden of Red is above the blank. What the fuck is the blank? Yeah, that's so fucking confusing. What the fuck is the blank? Well, the blank is a complicated concept in creepypasta. So basically, if we go if we go here, what the fuck is this? So basically, the context of this is the blank is basically where all authors create the stories from creepypasta. The blank narratively transcends every single creepypasta in fiction. It was later destroyed by the Garden of Red. As we see here, this says that come of a fiction within creepypasta, DC, and Marvel. The Red Demon touched them, and which touched them. Popular comics, fiction in here, of course, all transcended by the blank, and well, all of creepypasta. And this shit also exists. So basically, EXE has complete arsenal. It says that all abilities exist here. All abilities that don't exist here exist here. All will exist here. A complete gallery. Wow. Well, what else? What is there more about the Garden of not the Garden of the blank? Sure hell there is. So basically, this one says there's infinite layers. A layer is an infinite layered hierarchy. Each layer being an infinite layered hierarchy, each layer always transcended to the prior, and then the blank above them all. And then this scan states that you cannot comprehend the box, which is the blank, which transcends all tiering, all systems, all mechanisms of power, and only abides by logic. Ooh, power scaling, power scaling. Oh. It's not the fucking case. Even if this was made for power scaling, they can't really do shit since OC fallacy isn't really fucking correct or logical. Then this scan says, what the fuck does that say? Hold on. Relents at the center exist blank, because only the supreme author and the lady of the garden may look at it for it to transcend everyone else. The blank is where your story emerges. It's where all creepypastas merges. It's conceptually transcending everything. It is beyond all of the creepypasta cosmology. It is transcendent of creepypasta, and it's beyond all of us. The blank also states that it's it's where all of it's created, the fertile land in which the pencil lands in the blossom of a beautiful world. It is boundless, and it transcends all of existence. It is where fiction started and will end. It is the beginning of all stories. It is the truth. It transcends stories. It is transcendence of space, of time. It is infinite, and it is truth be told, where even the abstract parts of existence will grow and die. All right, good night, man. Um, sonic.exe being able to fight the fucking Garden of Red would literally just put him above Sonic's Cosmo because just that feat alone, not even the qualitative superiority shit, because the blank is transcendent over a universe in creepypasta which contains, hold on, which fuck, sorry, there's infinite universes which are fourth dimensional realms and have extra spatial dimensions, completely transcended over any three-dimensional realm, where higher dimensions have a qualitative superiority over the lower dimensions. There's infinite dimensions, meaning that there's an infinite route over fission stack. Universes are infinite size and work off a transfinite recursion. It's basically counting past infinite. Every universe and creepypasta is a simulation with their own laws in physics and space and time. Each universe is a universe in a universe infinitely, which is completely transcendent of the one below it. String theory also exists. The universe is an infinite dimensional hierarchy and it has infinite hierarchy dimensions. There's infinite planes stacked on each other, higher dimensions that are endless and infinite. Type 4 multiverse, as every universe exists as a physical mathematical universe, where mathematics exists as a physical body, which is basically what a Type 4 multiverse is. Sorry, I'm not showing scans for this shit, but let me finish. Each universe is described as its own hierarchy with its own stories and realms, each one as its own narrative, and narratives exist as immeasurable cardinal sets. Each universe has a collective unconscious. All things in the universe are conceptual. And finally, creepypasta universe contains infinite layered constructs. Each construct changes the last by an infinite conceptual amount, creating an immense layered stack. These constructs over these metaplanes extend to infinite possibilities, variations, combinations, as well as infinite, as well as endless decisions, probabilities, outcomes. These set structures are affirmed to have a cumulating amount of cardinal numbers. This thus includes small and larger cardinal figures, ranging through the specific ranges. Hash string theory sorts out an application within construct, one layered construct, among being in the category amount within the metafictional realm, which acts as a barrier to the lower layers. There's these infinite layers which act as a barrier in between that, and each of these layers are conceptually transcendent from the other, and this repeats onward to infinity. Hence, infinite conceptual recursion of transcendences. This alone solos Sonic. If you want the scans, you're gonna have to get my Discord. But yeah, that's why sonic.exe versus Sonic will never, will ever be close. Sonic.exe literally fucking destroys the verse. Will never be close. What's up, Emma? Oh yeah, I also found this shit, which is canon to fucking creepypasta due to how canon creepypasta works. Creepypasta. All of that was just a story, not just one, multiple. Then the first layer of conscious, infinite in size, infinite dimensions, infinitely sized one, then conceptually transcended by the next layer, infinitely. Again, infinite in size, just conceptually transcended by the prior layer. Then comes the next layer, the same thing really. Then the next, and of course, infinite layers in our page, an infinitely layered hierarchy, if you will. Oh, would you look at that? I just sound like that mathematician Bright. Odd. Of course, after this one page comes another infinitely hierarchy of the same exact setup, each hierarchy conceptually transcending the prior hierarchy. And of course, there are infinite layered hierarchies in which each layer is, well, absolutely transcendent. That's the simple layer of the cosmos. Not all it was, the rest of these stories being contained in universes, infinite bubbles and frames which get contained in larger frames. And I hate to use that damn bastard Bright's way of putting it, but I really have no choice, really. An infinite story where each page has infinite dimensions and is transcended conceptually by the next page, starting from the baseline to the end. An infinitely layered hierarchy in which one conceptually transcends the last. Seems rather indestructible, right? No. Seems some to us the authors don't like this infinitely layered hierarchy of infinite layered hierarchies. We despise it. In fact, so we destroy it all and put it all in our wasteland. The Garden of Red. Where all that power goes into, where all those abilities and characters go to. Hell, even Kush Hot Smoking Wheels sometimes thrashes stuff into there. A girl named Jimmy found it. She gained every single ability to ever exist, ever will to exist, and never will in all of fiction. In truth, she can do anything and everything with absolutely no limitations. Watch people say this is fucking power scaling slop. Fuck you, whoever says that. Which isn't true at all. So, sonic.exe literally just one shots the fucking verse. That's just fucking crazy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.